Charles Barkley is a household name today, thanks to his hilarity and charisma on the iconic Inside the NBA. But what many people don't realize is that he was once an unstoppable force on the basketball court. It's remarkable how time has distanced us from his playing days, to the point that many younger fans may not even realize that Chuck was one of the most dominant players of his era and a true on-court phenom. In his prime, he was undeniably one of the top 3 players in the league, a dominant power forward who defied expectations with his unique blend of size, skill, and athleticism. While his nickname, the Round Mound of Rebound, highlighted his incredible work on the boards, it only scratched the surface of his multifaceted game. Barkley's career was marked by distinct phases, each showcasing a different facet of his remarkable talent. These are the skills of Charles Barkley. Explained. Charles Barkley's entry into the NBA was anything but conventional. Unhappy with the Philadelphia 76ers' limited contract offer of $75,000 for only 1 year, he attempted a rather unorthodox strategy to avoid being drafted by them. He embarked on a monumental eating binge. In a span of just 48 hours, Barkley consumed 2 Denny's Grand Slam breakfasts, along with copious amounts of Kentucky Fried Chicken, mashed potatoes, and coleslaw, gaining an astonishing 20 pounds. Sadly for Chuck, his efforts were not enough, as the Sixers, undeterred by his sudden weight gain, selected Barkley with the 5th overall pick in the 1984 NBA draft. He arrived at training camp weighing close to 300 pounds, a far cry from the lean and agile athlete he had been in college. Once arriving in Philly at age 21, the young Barkley found himself under the mentorship of Moses Malone, a 3-time league MVP and a legendary rebounder in his own right. Malone, known for his no-nonsense approach, wasted no time in confronting Barkley about his weight, bluntly telling him, "You're fat and you're lazy." This harsh critique served as a wake-up call for Barkley. Under Malone's guidance, he dedicated himself to shedding the excess weight. By December of his rookie year, he had slimmed down to a much more manageable 255 pounds and earned himself a starting spot on an absolutely loaded 76ers squad, with players like Julius Erving, Mo Cheeks, and Bobby Jones. This transformation restored Barkley to his former athleticism. He was once again a blur of speed and power on the court, his agility and quickness surprising opponents who underestimated his abilities. Barkley was a terror in transition, weaving through defenders with his impressive ball-handling skills and finishing with authority at the rim. He was fearless attacking the basket, often bulldozing his way through defenders to score his signature two-handed flush. His speed wasn't limited to his physical attributes. Barkley also possessed a high basketball IQ and exceptional court awareness. He was a gifted passer, especially in transition, where he could draw the defense's attention and find open teammates with pinpoint accuracy. His ability to make split-second decisions and deliver the ball with precision made him a valuable and underrated playmaker. Despite being officially listed at 6'6", Barkley has admitted to being closer to 6'4". According to thehoopsgeek.com, the average height of an NBA power forward when Chuck was drafted was a towering 6'9". This meant he was significantly undersized for his position, but he never let that deter him. He played with a ferocious intensity and a fearless attitude, bullying larger opponents with his strength and low center of gravity. This physicality and fearlessness helped him immensely in achieving his rebounding dominance. Barkley was nothing but impressive when cleaning the glass, averaging as many as 14.6 rebounds per game in 1987. He combined his strength and aggression with impressive leaping ability, often out-jumping taller opponents to secure crucial rebounds. In his mid-20s in Philadelphia, Chuck was an athletic marvel, a force of nature who combined explosive power, lightning-fast speed, and incredible leaping ability. Up until Zion Williamson's arrival in today's era, the NBA had never seen a player quite like prime Charles Barkley. He was a unique combination of size, strength, and athleticism, capable of dominating games with his sheer physicality, despite his smaller stature. However, there is one crucial difference between a young Barkley and Williamson: durability. thanks to those valuable lessons he learned from Moses Malone about staying in shape and taking care of his body, Barkley remained slim and remarkably resilient throughout his early career. In fact, during their first 5 seasons in the league, Barkley played in over 100 more regular season games than Williamson, showcasing his exceptional toughness and commitment to staying on the court. He was remarkably efficient in Philly. From 1987 to 1992, among players averaging at least 10 points per game in those 5 years, Chuck led all players in field goal percentage at 58%, an impressive feat considering his high volume of shots and the physicality he faced in the paint. This incredible efficiency, a testament to his skill and determination, solidified his place as one of the most dominant scorers of the late 80s and early 90s. Despite his individual success, Charles Barkley couldn't lead the Philadelphia 76ers to championship glory. Frustratingly, this lack of winning reached its peak in 1992, when, despite Barkley being in the middle of his prime, the Sixers failed to make the playoffs. At 29 years old, Barkley, yearning for a change and a chance to compete for a championship, requested a trade. He was sent out west to the Phoenix Suns, where his impact was immediate and profound. In his very first season for Phoenix, Barkley captured the league MVP award and led the Suns to the NBA Finals in 1993, proving finally that with the right supporting cast, Chuck's talent could translate into team success. While he might have lost a fraction of his youthful explosiveness, Barkley had evolved his game as he entered his 30s. He had added some weight, which, combined with his exceptional strength and low center of gravity, made him an even more formidable force in the low post. He remained a threat in transition, but his post-up game had become virtually unstoppable. Barkley would methodically back down defenders, using his power and leverage to create scoring opportunities. Chuck's post-up play was so overwhelming that the NBA was forced to implement a new rule, the 5-second back-to-the-basket rule, to limit his dominating style down low. Barkley's arsenal of post moves was both powerful and deceptive. His lightning-fast spin move, often enhanced by subtle use of his elbows, created space for him to easily score when needed. And like another legendary power player, Shaquille O'Neal, Chuck also rarely drew offensive fouls. His physical style of play was simply part of his game, a force that opponents had to contend with. Barkley was a paradox on the court at times. Yes, he was a dominant force inside, a master of the low post, and a rebounding machine. Yet, from behind the three-point line, his touch deserted him. He was, to put it bluntly, a terrible three-point shooter. But here's the thing. Even though he struggled from deep, Barkley never hesitated to launch those long-range bombs. Some might call it a flaw in his game, a stubborn refusal to acknowledge his limitations. But perhaps it was a testament to his unwavering confidence, his belief that he could conquer any challenge on the court and come through for his team when they needed him. And in a way, it was. Because even with those occasionally awful three-point attempts, Barkley's efficiency remained high, thanks to almost never shooting below 50% on his two-pointers in his career. His long-range struggles simply couldn't overshadow his mastery in the areas where he truly excelled. Though rarely recognized for his defense, Barkley was a surprisingly good shot blocker in his younger years. His explosiveness and leaping ability allowed him to swat away shots as a help defender. Even in transition, as seen in this play here, he could effectively protect the rim against multiple attackers. Unfortunately, this aspect of his game declined as he aged and added weight, but it's worth remembering that Barkley was a more complete player than he often gets credit for. Charles Barkley was a unique blend of natural talent and hard-earned skills, a force of nature who defied expectations and revolutionized the power forward position. His blend of power, finesse, and determination, coupled with his undeniable charisma and confidence, made him one of the most dominant and captivating players in NBA history. While his size and conditioning may have limited him in some ways, his impact on the game is undeniable. He was a true original, a player whose skill and personality left an indelible mark on the league. As fans, we can only imagine what he might have accomplished with a different physique or a more supportive cast. Regardless of those what-ifs, Charles Barkley's legacy as one of the most skilled and entertaining power forwards of all time remains secure. He was a player who transcended his era, inspiring generations of fans with his unique blend of talent, personality, and sheer force of will.